It was okay until they taught you how to calculate simple interest. For example, if you take a loan of 100,000 rupees at the rate of 10% per annum, then after 1 year, you'd have to pay back your creditor 110,000 rupees. However, what happens if you miss repaying after 1 year? Then your creditor charges you compound interest on the loan you have taken. Then let's say that you have not been able to pay until the next 10 years. Will the amount that you owe him just be 10 into 10 or double or 200,000 rupees only? Unfortunately, this is the wrong answer. The amount that you will have to be paying back will be 259,000 rupees. How did we arrive at such a bigger number? That's why they taught you how to calculate compound interest and exponentials in school or college. It is so important to make the correct financial decisions. No wonder we have so many people buried in debts. The logic, as per this component of mathematics, is that you should clear your loans as fast as possible so that do not accrue and compound themselves. Exponentials are very important to understand how virus like corona spread. We saw the exponential transmission of the virus during the height of coronavirus pandemic. Knowing such a behavior of a virus helps us to decrease its effect and eventually reverse the transmission. This is what scientists did, but for us, it's enough to know that pandemics are not totally random and they follow an exponential curve behavior. Exponentials are also very important to understand how population grows over time. It also helps us to understand how technology is adopted. Basically, it tells us that at the beginning, the growth and the adoptions are very slow, but there's a tipping point that is reached, and after that, all hell break loose, and the growth is almost at a 90-degree. This also applies when we want our videos to go viral on YouTube. We just wonder when that tipping point will occur, and then we will suddenly have millions of views, whereas earlier we just had a few dozens. The best example of set theory is our filing system. It could be a physical file or in our computer. Knowledge of set helps us manage vast amount of information. For example, when we have event to organize and we have to determine who to invite, we make use of set theory even though we don't know it. Let's say there are three family members, A, B, and C. At first, each of them make a list of the people that they want to invite. Then they make a union or combine all of the names in order to write the invitation card. But in order to avoid sending multiple invitation card to the same person, they should do an intersection or find the common names. Some guests could be mutual friends of A and B, while others of B and C. Some of A and C, while some of all three of them. Once this is done, we have a clean list of the total number of guests we have to invite, their names. In this way, every guest will receive only one invitation card and none will be missed. Using the same concept, whenever we are faced with problems at work or at home, we can use this component to group various items and elements and find how they relate to another in terms of differences and commonalities. In this way, we can break down the problems and find a quick, effective solution. Here, of course, I'm very much generalizing. Finally, set theory and its proficiency become very useful whenever you are using Excel and you have to use the filters in order to find certain information from a given table of data. On a humorous note, let's say that you have called an application for potential grooms, then there arrived 1,000 entries that each became one row in your Excel table. How will you filter out 10 potential grooms that you'll go on a date with? You'll have to filter for age, which is a subset of this 1,000 men. However, in order to decrease the number, you would have to filter according to education, residence, aspirations, and so on until you could finally reach your small number of 10 that you want to actually meet and go on a date with. It would be quite ridiculous to remove from your pocket a pen and paper and start calculating using the rules that you learned in primary school in order to determine how much you have to pay at the counter. However, it's also impractical and not sexy to take out your phone, put on the calculator app, and start calculating in order to even just to estimate how much you have to pay at the counter. And this is when mental calculations is very useful. We'll talk about the various techniques in the later sections, but at least what I want to tell you is you should at least provide some approximation or an estimate, and that's what mental calculations are all about. By being able to do quick, simple, fast mental calculations will give you more confidence that you'll not be cheated or that you'll not look like a fool when it comes to numbers. It doesn't only have to be while you go shopping. It could be when you are reading a doctor's report and it says that the level of a certain chemical in your blood is 220, but the recommended level should be between 550 and 950. So by just looking, you know that there's a problem. And that's what mental math is all about. There is a difference of around 300, and that's enough. Then turning that into a percentage, you can say that it's not that bad because it's only 15% or 25% less than required. See, I'm not even trying to be accurate here. You don't have to be. You just need to have a sense of being in the correct direction and almost nearby. It is expected that you will be wrong in absolute value or correct value. That's what mental calculations are all about. Finally, being able to do quick mental calculations increases your efficiency. Whenever some people throw numbers at you or you see numbers around you, you can make a quick estimation, thereby you can come up with a fast decision. So even if you were able to just master those last 8 components, you would be very successful in life, earning good money, making good savings, proper investments, as well as making correct decisions and good judgment calls. The next set of the 13 components are less prevalently used, but they are still very useful. So let us explore them.